What is a fraction? That's what our lesson is about today. We're going to start chapter 4, which is all about fractions and the meaning of a fraction. Okay? A fraction is a number of parts out of the total pieces. A fraction is a number of parts out of the total pieces. That's one way that a fraction is used, is to show the number of parts out of the total. The number of boxes with X in it is 1 out of a total of 3. Okay? Or there are 2 blank ones out of 3. Then this one shows there are 3 out of 4 pieces of the pizza left. If this is blue pizza. Yum.
Ugh.
Blue pizza. So there's 3 pieces left. 3 out of 4. 3/4 is left. And you could also say there is 1/4 missing. Right? That's what a fraction is used to do, is to tell you how many parts there are out of the total. Okay? Now, there's some other things that we can learn from a fraction, though. We can learn from the denominator how big the pieces are. Okay? The denominator also tells you the size of the pieces. Look at this example. All right? When I was growing up, we had 6 kids in my family.
Dang!
Yeah, so when my mom was cutting the pieces, if this was pie, apple pie for example, she didn't just cut 4 pieces. She had to cut them into
6.
how many pieces?
8.
8 pieces. Right. Now, we had 3 before. Now how many pieces do we have? If I cut these into pieces, if I cut those in half,
6.
now I have 6 pieces. Do I have more?
Yeah. Well,
What do I have more of?
pieces.
I have more pieces,
but there's not more pizza.
there's not more pizza. There's not more apple pie. It's just that the pieces are smaller.
Pizza.
Okay? So if I wrote this as 6/8 instead of 3/4, what was it that changed? What's different about 6/8? Caleb.
Size.
The size of the pieces is bigger or smaller?
Smaller.
It's smaller. Look at this. The smaller the denominator, the bigger the size of the piece, right? The bigger the denominator, the smaller the piece. So that's one thing that we can learn about the denominator. The denominator will tell you how big the pieces are. Right? And what else changed? The size of the pieces changed. And from 3 to 6. So how many pieces? What had happened to the pieces?
They got smaller, but they added more to it.
Right. They got smaller. The half is big, but they are half the size also. So that's another thing that you can learn from fractions, is how big of pieces you're dealing with. Okay? Now, is this an equal fraction? Yeah, it is. It's an equal fraction. It means equal amount. You have an equal amount. We have an equal amount of pizza, but the pieces are smaller. That's what that means. Okay? equal fractions give you equal amounts. They don't give you the equal number of pieces. You have more pieces, but the amount is the same. And we doubled the number of pieces when we multiplied both numbers by what? Show me. 2, right. A fraction is also a ratio. Yeah.
Can you get back?
I will later. A fraction is also a ratio. Ratios are different than fractions in that ratios compare amounts of two different things. Okay? So instead of the top number being how many you have out of the total, the top number is one type of piece or part or thing, and the bottom number is a different piece or part or thing. We can write a ratio for the number of boys to the number of girls in here right now. How many boys are there in here? 12. Including me?
13.
I'm a boy, yeah.
You're sorry,
I'm still a boy.
I know. I thought you weren't talking about.
How about girls? How many girls are there?
10.
10?
Yeah.
So there's 10 today?
Yeah. It's 35.
13 boys to 10 girls. That's a ratio of boys to girls. Repeat that. That's a ratio of boys to girls. Now, how is that different than a fraction? How could you write a fraction based on these ratios? Noah.
13 out of 23.
Right. 13 out of 23 are
Here. Boy.
boys. Right? 10 out of 23 are girls. Do you see the difference between a ratio and a fraction? Yeah. Ratios compare amounts of two different things. Fractions compare an amount out of the total. Once again, the top number in a fraction is called the numerator, and the bottom number in a fraction is called the denominator. The denominator. Right. The denominator. It's the bottom number. Now, fractions can also mean division. So, the top number in a division problem is called the dividend. And the bottom number is called the divisor. Right. So fractions can also give us a division problem. It's a way of writing division.
Can you go back to the other one?
I will in a little bit. So our ratio was 13 to 10, and our fractions were 13 to 23 and 10 to 23. 10 out of 23, right? Any questions about understanding fractions? All right, that's it for now. We're going to start an assignment.